What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals. Thank you to the patrons, Steve, Kimberly, and Karen. You got to do that off the top of the show. We're back. We took a little vacation. It happens in the summer. I don't know how it is for Kyle, but we live in Montana, and the smoke is horrible here. Horrible, to the point where it looked like it was going to rain today. No rain on the forecast. That's how much smoke there was down below, up top. It was awful. Didn't leave my house. Quarantine.
Yeah, it's about the same here. The fires are bad. Yeah,
they're really bad. But I hope everybody else is staying safe. If you're around smoke, stay safe around any fires or anything like that. We're here to talk Space Jam 2. So let's just get into it here. I'll go get some Movie Meals merch as well. All linked in the description. You guys know the drill. Really help us out. Be wonderful. We got some really cool new summer merch. Go get it. All right. Kyle, what were your positives of Space Jam? A new legacy. And what did you think of the original? Where do you land on the original Space Jam? Space Jam.
The original Space Jam is a treasure.
God, you had such a good opportunity to say the original Space Jam is my jam, and you messed up. You messed up.
You should have done it. You should have done it. You knew what to expect.
Anyway, continue.
It is my jam. Now, it's not a good movie, obviously, but you know what? For a kid's movie, for what started out as commercials and they somehow molded its way into becoming a movie, it's awesome. Like, it's just one of those kids movies, that as an adult you can understand that it doesn't work well as a movie, but for some reason it just has this special magic to it that you can't help but love the movie. At least that's what I get out of it. So with this being a sequel, like, of course I still have my rose-colored glasses on when it comes to like the original, and I don't want it to hurt the original, which it absolutely won't do to begin with, but I just am protective about it. And so coming away with this, I had, I don't know, mixed expectations for it, and I came away feeling all right about it. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a great movie necessarily, but I could see a possibility where it could have some sort of magic for kids of a new generation, reinvigorate maybe life for Looney Tunes for a new generation as compared to what happened with us in our generation. It kind of reinvigorated Looney Tunes at that time too. And the best parts of this movie are, Looney Tunes, specifically Bugs Bunny, in my opinion. It's just when they're on screen and when they're able to do their thing and when the movie allows them to do their thing, it's a lot of fun. And they have some good creative moments to where you still have the Looney Tunes hijinks, but it works for, the story that this movie is trying to tell. Whether the story does well or not, I don't know. It does well enough, given for what type of movie it is. Special effects work as well. Like the visual effects here and the CGI is all really good stuff. And I was appreciative of, bringing in some hand-drawn animation and kind of playing around with the hand-drawn animation in some creative ways. I thought was pretty good throughout the movie. And I guess in general, I don't think it's completely bad or completely ruining the first Space Jam by any means. I think, adults may not like it as much as the first movie, but I think it will work for this generation of kids, and adults can still come away having a good enough time with it, but we'll probably still like the original more.
Yeah, I went into the movie low expectations. I'm a big fan of the original Space Jam. Love the original Space Jam. Hit me as a kid.
It's your jam.
Kyle, it's my jam. I just noticed we're like wearing kind of matching gray shirts. Look at you and me today. Look at you and me on a Monday.
We didn't even it's just a thing. It's just wacky.
Except I haven't showered in 80 days, and you're looking cute as always. I don't know what's going on here.
You don't have to be at work.
Anyway,
fine.
I'm a huge fan of Space Jam. It has been a minute since I had watched it. I watched it last time my freshman year of college. But I want to say this up top. I said this to quite a few people before Space Jam 2 came out. The first Space Jam's not good. It's not. I'm sorry, nostalgia wearers like myself, because I love the first Space Jam. It holds a great place in my heart. but it's kids movie. There's some jokes for parents, but overall, it's a weird, goofy kids movie. I was even asking my parents the other day about it, and they're like, no, never, no. And fun. Here's the fact. Here's facts. The new one's the same. It's for kids. It's an actual kids movie. There are some good laughs for adults. There was a Michael Jordan joke that had me rolling. It was so funny. I love it. It's
Okay.
my positives. It's my You can get to your negatives later, sir. My positives. It had me
Okay, that's fine.
rolling. I thought it was hysterical just because I
Okay.
wasn't expecting it. Had me rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Looney Tunes stuff was great. It is none of the NBA guys are great actors. None of the NBA guys in the first one are great actors. It's just it's got a little bit of charm to it. I think there are plenty of laughs that hit. It is a little bit of a WB here is all our movies fest, but I actually really liked it. Like there's some characters you wouldn't expect to show up in the background. Like there's Pennywise in the background of some stuff and like Game of Thrones
Yeah.
characters. And that got me to laugh. I think that was just a funny little thing for parents. And it is heartwarming. The CGI looked great. I had a fun time with it. I thought it was pretty good. I think a lot of people are really bashing it because it's easy to bash LeBron. It's been easy to bash LeBron for a long time. But I think the movie did great. The first one has a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. This one has a 32%. That's not far off. I think people understand that these movies are for kids. It made a ton of money, made $31 million in the opening weekend, made good money this weekend. Beat Black Widow, which was a shock for everybody. Black Widow having a major dip, but I had a good time with it. I thought it was fun. But Kyle, what are your negatives of the movie?
I think like the biggest negative for me was the showcasing of the Warner's IP. And I know the first Space Jam movie was kind of IP driven as well. Like they made it because the commercials did well, because Michael Jordan was the biggest thing and Looney Tunes was becoming popular again. So they thought it makes sense to make a movie. But at least like it still had charm to it, to where like, yeah, it's kind of promoting Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan, but somehow, and maybe this is like my rose colored glasses analogy that I'll say when it comes to my viewing of Space Jam all the time, but there was still like a charm to that movie. Whereas when, the Warner Bros. IP stuff where they show like all of what Warner Bros. Has to offer when it comes to like entertainment and pop culture and stuff like that, it just felt, to me, it felt weird. It felt kind of cheap and lame, but I do have to take it with a grain of salt that like kids do like some of that IP that they were showing. I mean, not all of it, but especially like, superhero stuff. Like superhero stuff pops up in there, and that's the biggest thing happening right now. So it could work for kids, maybe. I'm not sure. I just I wasn't a particular fan of it. Like some jokes were fine, but most of the time I was like, I'm ready to move past this part. And luckily it's, not, it is, and it isn't throughout the whole movie. When you see it, it kind of makes more sense to what I'm saying there. And I don't know. I think also there was kind of some weird directing issues when it comes to some of the actors. Like I think these actors kind of had to work a lot in green screen a lot of the time.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think maybe some of the direction for these actors wasn't very good, to where they seemed like the actors knew what to do all the time. I think Don Cheadle knew what to do the most, but for a lot of the other actors, especially for like LeBron, I felt like as though they were kind of struggling at times to know like what their mark was, when to say a line at the right time, things like that, to where, at least for me, I noticed it very much. But I think for general audiences, they're not going to think twice about it. But for people like us and within our film circle, that may be more noticeable.
Yeah, I actually think Don Cheadle was having a blast. I think he loved making this
Probably.
movie. He looked like he was having fun. Yeah, I think some of the weaknesses are on the direction, because a director's job is getting the best out of their actors, and he probably did that with getting the best out of everybody. It's the same thing Jordan had to deal with sitting on a green screen back in the day. Different tech, obviously, but um, yeah, it's not the best script, not the best direction. It is a lot of WB's properties. It didn't bother me. I mean, there are kids who I taught this last year who are 7 years old who know and think Pennywise is the coolest thing ever. And it's weird because they've never seen the movie, but they just think it's just what's cool because of Fortnite and things like that. So it is a different time. I don't know if this movie will age the same way and have the same nostalgia that we had for the first one, just because we're in such a different time now with
Yeah.
social media
Yeah.
and everything. But I think the movie did a good job. I think it did what it needed to do. I'd love to see the numbers of HBO Max. How much did it make on HBO? And I'm curious to see what happens next weekend when you got heavy hitters like G.I. Joe coming out. You've got Old, but let's see what's going to compete there and how well Space Jam does in the theaters the next week. I'm interested to see what happens, but I thought the movie was fun. I think if you have any interest in it, I think you should probably go check it out. At least go watch it on HBO. But definitely kids will have a blast. I think kids will absolutely love it, especially with more of the video game angle they take, which I think is a smart direction for this
It was.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a bit more creative than I thought it was going to be. Like sometimes that video game stuff that's added into movies can be kind of cringy, but I thought here it wasn't bad. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, me too. I ended up having fun. I went in thinking this was going to be pretty tough to get through, and I went in and I came out and had some fun. A little bit of charm as well. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's all I got for you.
All right. Well, thank you again to the Movie Meal patrons. Guys, go get some Movie Meals merch, all linked in the description. Go check out all the other great stuff we got on our channel. Videos popping up. We got Black Widow review. We got everything. Another Happy Landing will be back. I was just talking to guest host Tanner on that just a little bit ago. So it'll be back. We'll review Rebels, the end of Rebels, and get into some of the big movies. So get ready for that. And as always, thank you for watching, Mom.
See you guys.